Hopefully you've gone over the pronunciation with Teacher Charlie, and now we can move on to the grammar. I often say that this first chapter is going to be the hardest because we have to start somewhere. We have to have some sort of base. So often when you start a language, you're missing so many puzzle pieces. But as we go, it's going to get easier and easier. So even if some things still don't make sense at the end of this video, they will. Just give it a little bit of time. So we want to use the key language from the dialogue page, which is the page over here. And we're going to use that to fill in our activity on this side. But I want to point out a couple things first. Spanish is a phonetic language, and that's really good for us as English speakers because English is not. English has a lot of different words that rhyme that don't look anything alike. But Spanish is pretty much what you see is what you get. Once you get used to the pronunciation, that is. The A always sounds like an ah sound, like apple. And then the E always sounds like an A, as in pay. The I sounds like an E, like in bee. The O sounds like O in coat. And the U sounds like oo in book. A, E, I, O, U are the same vowels in English as they are in Spanish. And the second thing I want to point out is that we're going to have to deal with gender in the Spanish language. And this is the first time we're going to see it, but certainly not the last. You're going to notice that nationalities and occupations can end in an O for the masculine form, or they can end in an A for feminine. So you have to be careful if you're talking to or about a female, including yourself, that you're changing the O to an A. Now if a nationality ends in a consonant, which are going to be everything but the A, E, I, O, U, you're still going to have to add an A when you're talking about a female. And then you'll notice a third set that end in an E, and they only have one form. They're gender neutral. So we'll see this throughout the workbook. There's a couple examples at the bottom. Doctor, doctora is an example of it ending in a consonant. Mesero or cocinero and mesera, cocinera are examples of when it ends in an O and we have a second version with an A. And soon enough you'll see the third example. This is going to also be true for the adjectives in the language, but for right now, let's just stick to the nationalities and occupations. So you want to go ahead and fill out this dialogue here. Everything you need is going to be found on the previous page. And then when you're ready, you can go to the answer key at the end of the chapter to check your answers.